What's up, Stat Fam? I told you we was coming back with another one. We got this criminal assaulted Larry Bird, and here's what happened after. This is a live reaction. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that sub button, and comment below. Let's get it. Y'all already know it's live and legendary. We thank the Lord for another day. Y'all know how serious I am about that. You know you gotta be legendary about the Lord now. That's the real legend. That's the biggest legend of all legends. I promise you. We gonna salute him. We gotta let you know about him. No shame in our game. We salute to the Lord every day. And I salute to y'all every day. We salute you, know. Everybody legends up here. We all legendary. Shout out to the Lord. We thank you for another day, Lord. I promise you. Legendary. Make sure everybody handle their business today. We just thank the Lord for another. I promise you that. Ain't nothing like it. We're gonna get it started early. We ain't gonna hold y'all too long. Damn, is my battery dead? Hold on. I'm tripping, ain't I, y'all? We'll get it right. I don't know what I got going on right now, but hey, y'all bear with me. I don't know what's going on right now. Y'all bear with me, though. We're gonna get it right. Might be it. Oh, this is the one right here. We legendary. We on now. It's showtime. Let's get to it. Shout out to the Lord now for another legendary day. Big Bird. Goodbye. She's gone. Let's get it started. You know what?
He's overrated in a lot of areas. I don't think he's the greatest player. He's way overrated. Why does he get so much publicity? Because he's white. You never hear about a black player being the greatest. That's what Dennis Rodman had to say about Larry Bird in 1987 after the Boston Celtics eliminated the Detroit Pistons in the playoffs. But you know what's even more incredible? Rodman was just a rookie who had been selected with the 27th pick in the 1986 draft, and who had averaged 15 minutes a night during that season. Now, there are a number of unwritten rules in the NBA, especially in the case of a rookie, but probably the most important one is the one Dennis broke with those statements. Yeah, I'm talking about that unwritten rule that says, don't poke the bear. But he wasn't the only one. Isaiah Thomas, the Pistons star, not only didn't back down from his teammates' statements, he actually agreed with them. Something inexplicable if the person you're railing against is a 3-time NBA champion who just won 3 consecutive regular season MVPs. It was at this moment when Larry, as MJ liked to say, took that personally. But his revenge, which would not be immediate, would be as bloody as you could imagine. It was 1987, and nobody, absolutely nobody, was better than Larry Bird. He was the most dominant, most successful, and most spectacular player in basketball. His ability to manage the pace of the game at will was something no one had ever seen in the NBA. He was the most complete player in history. It's that simple. An all-around player who was capable of doing anything to lead his team to a championship. And the truth is that he had already done it on 3 occasions. Bird had not only starred in what was probably the best 3-year run in the history of the league, winning 3 consecutive regular season MVPs, something, by the way, that has not happened since. Yeah, not Jordan, not LeBron. You're hearing that right. Nobody has done it since Bird did it from 1984 to 1986. And his averages in those seasons? 26 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals per game with 50% from the field. and almost 40% in three-pointers and 89% in free throws. Larry had proven that his play style was capable of turning any team in the league into a multiple NBA champion. But in 1987, he had become a different beast, averaging 28 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists per game, with an efficiency that allowed him to enter the 50-40-90 club, all while playing a league-high 40.6 minutes per game. Bird just wanted to get his 4th ring at any cost. His mission, however, was not easy. During the 1987 playoffs, Bird not only had to get past Michael Jordan's Chicago Bulls in the first round, and Terry Cummings and Sidney Moncrief's Milwaukee Bucks in the second round, but in the conference finals, the Detroit Pistons once again awaited them. And during the previous seasons, the Celtics' superiority had resulted in the team having a record of 12 wins and 2 losses during the conference finals, which they were always able to dominate. However, that year, Bird would have to give it his all to beat the Pistons in 7 games. After winning the first 2 games of the series, the Pistons reeled off 2 straight wins to tie it up. And in Game 5, one of the most iconic plays of Larry Bird's career took place. Now, Bird didn't just steal the ball to win Game 5 and give the Celtics the lead in the series. With a 37.9 rebound, 9 assist performance on just 24 shots from the field, Larry robbed the Pistons of their chance to advance to the finals for the first time since 1956, more than 30 years earlier. And that was the moment. That was the moment when Dennis Rodman and Isaiah Thomas showed their honest opinion of who at the time was considered the greatest player of all time, Rodman.
Larry Bird was the god in the NBA. You know, he's like the great white hope. And I said, if Larry was a black guy, he'd just be a regular basketball player.
Quote, Larry Bird is overrated in a lot of areas. I don't think he's the greatest player. He's way overrated. Why does he get so much publicity? Because he's white. You never hear about a black player being the greatest. Isaiah Thomas. Quote, Larry Bird is very overrated. Won 3 straight MVPs because he's white. If he was black, he'd be just another good guy. Now keep one thing in mind. Rodman wasn't that player who was able to intimidate with his presence alone. Not yet. The forward was a rookie with a supporting role on a team that had 3 stars of the quality of Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer, and Adrian Dantley. That aura that accompanied him during his 3 championship run with Mike and Scotty on the Bulls wasn't there yet. He was a forward who simply stood out for his defensive versatility and rebounding ability, and was regarded league-wide as an offensive liability. But Bird, despite having plenty of arguments to answer his disrespect, decided not to. He simply decided that time would put everyone in their place, and his revenge, well, yeah, it would come on the basketball court. It was November 15, 1987. It was the first game between the Detroit Pistons and Boston Celtics after the incendiary statements of Dennis Rodman and Isaiah Thomas. And Bird was on a mission to humiliate the one who had disrespected him. And that would be the first of the matchups between the 2 players, who played a total of 6 crossovers during that regular season. In that first game, Bird signed a performance of 27 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists while shooting 60% from the field. And not only was one of the best defenders in the league unable to stop Bird, an elite defensive system like the Detroit Pistons, who would dominate the Eastern Conference for years to come, were unable to stop the production of a player who wanted to run all over him. And yes, the Pistons did win the game, but Larry not only put in an incredible performance while being defended by Rodman, but he also increased his desire for revenge for the next game, January 13th, 1988. The Celtics would host the Pistons at the Garden, which was one of the most hostile environments in the NBA. And that night, Bird was not only able to surpass his previous scoring performance with 28 points, but he also had one of the best playmaking displays of his career with 13 assists and 0 turnovers. But the worst was not his ability to do whatever he wanted with Rodman on virtually every play of the game, and it was not the fact that the Celtics won the game by 38 points. Everyone could see that. The most humiliating part about all this was what the cameras didn't catch. Quote, I would be all over him, trying to deny him the ball, and all Larry was doing was yelling at his teammates. I'm open. Hurry up before they notice nobody's guarding me. Coach, you better get this guy out and send in somebody who's going to D me up because it's too easy when I'm wide open like this. Rodman himself later confessed how Larry treated him during those games as if he didn't exist. as if he was completely invisible. Bird made him see that his defensive capabilities were not only insufficient, but non-existent. And that one-sided rivalry in the matchup that they would star in during that season, it didn't end there. Bird would put in a performance of 25 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 steals in the third game. And then another performance of 26 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists in the fourth. And another performance of 32 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists in the fifth game. And then 22 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, and 4 blocks in the sixth. From the low post, from the mid-range, from the paint, from the three-point line. Larry's arsenal was so incredibly dense that Rodman couldn't even dream of the Celtics forward having a bad performance for at least one day. And why? Because it was personal. The Pistons were one of the best teams in the East, and as we said, they had one of the best defenses in the league. They were a team that wasn't worried about using toughness on every possession, and their players were ready for any battle. But they also were not prepared to stop the best player of their generation. It's that simple. And although Detroit was on an upward progression, and the complete opposite of the Celtics, who had already passed their prime, Bird forced Rodman to eat his words. And the reality is that for the next 30 years, Rodman was unable to disrespect Larry Bird ever again. The masterclass the forward gave him was so absolutely dominating that he was unable to say anything ever again, even when he became world champion with the Chicago Bulls. But one thing is certain. Even more than 30 years later, Bird has been living rent-free in Rodman's head, and that's not something I'm making up. Look at these statements Dennis, the three-time NBA champion, gave in 2023. Quote, "If Larry Bird played in this era, I think he'd be playing overseas in Europe. I'm just letting you know, man, he'd be somewhere over there. His game was fit for Boston at that time in the 80s and stuff like that, but in today's world, oh hell no, there's no way." Now, let's ignore the fact that the skill set needed to play in the league today is completely different than what was needed in the 80s. Yes, we're just going to overlook that. If a unicorn like Larry Bird was able to reinvent basketball with his game, who was able to score from anywhere on the court and in any context, who was able to find the open man in any situation, and who was able to be one of the best defenders in the NBA, is not able to adapt his game to the modern NBA, where does that leave Dennis Rodman? Would a player like him be able to survive in today's basketball? Come on, man. If players like Ben Simmons, who were able to average 17 points per game in their prime years, aren't able to find many minutes just because they don't shoot threes, does anyone think Rodman would be able to adapt? Of course, this is kind of a stupid debate. If Bird had been born in another context, his environment would have forced him to be a different player. But the talent has always been there, and he would have been able to adapt in any context. Comparing eras with any other purpose than just observing the evolution of basketball is simply absurd. Now, if there is one thing that the history between Larry Bird and Dennis Rodman has proven, it's just don't poke the bear. Throughout the history of the league, there is something that has always happened, and in fact still happens today. You don't have to go back any further than the LeBron James and Dylan Brooks situation a few months ago. There is an ironclad law of the NBA. If you're going to talk shit about a generational player, you better be a generational player yourself before you do it, okay? In the end, Bird enjoyed his retirement by becoming the coach of the Indiana Pacers for 3 seasons and winning NBA Coach of the Year in one of them, as well as getting an NBA Finals appearance in his short career as a coach. He then went on to serve 14 seasons as president of basketball operations for the Indianapolis organization. And Rodman, well, he had legal problems of all kinds from 1999 until 2019, in which he was accused of numerous crimes of different natures, such as battery or DUI, along with a whole bunch of shenanigans that ultimately ended up affecting his entire reputation. So I guess what I'm trying to say is time puts everyone in their place. Am I right? Alright, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you thought down in the comments. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.
Real legend, I can tell you that. Goodbye. She's gone. That guy would have torched the hell out of this league. Let's be honest, man. The guy would have torched the hell out of the 2020s, the 2010s, the 05s. Come on, man. We done seen what he did in the 90s, in the 80s. Y'all seen what he did in the 70s. Shout out to them real Bird fans that actually lived through it. I wasn't born that time, but y'all really lived through it. Y'all know what it feel like back then. Y'all already know what time it was. Big Bird was the best all around player, literally. Come on, man. What is they shame his head? Dude was the best all around player. The eye test. Dude was the best all around player. Just, come on, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Come on now. Ain't no need to get up here and play around and act like you want the best all around player. Common sense will tell you the best all around player, I promise you. Much stuff I done seen already. And I wasn't even born in the era. I figured that out, and then hey, I figured it out. I tell you that, you like this guy had an all-around game. Came into the game, came into the league. He didn't need no trainer, no shooting machine. You feel me? Come on, man. They got shooting machines and shit now. I'm talking about real shooter. When you have to really shoot the ball and run and go get your shot. You feel me? Come on, the little techniques of it. You would have torched this league, I tell you that. Robin, we salute you. We don't got nothing bad to say about Robin or Isaiah Thomas, but we ain't gonna do that. We legendary. They real legends. And we salute Big Bird. Because it could have got worse. You could have said, you could have pulled the okie doke on them. You could have pulled the okie doke. These guys would have never played in the league again. So we salute you, Big Bird, for real. And guys kept playing. Big Bird said he ain't care about that. That don't really matter. That don't really bother me. I heard him in the press conference when he said he was in there sitting with Isaiah Thomas. You can see in Isaiah Thomas' eyes. He was damn shook, like, damn, I might not even play no more. Shout out to Big Bird. He kept it on it. Big Bird a nigga inside. I promise you. He a nigga inside. He got it in him now. Don't let it fool you now. He got it in it. And we salute you. I promise you. It ain't hard to tell now. It's legendary. Shout out to them real legends now. Big Bird, I promise you're a real legend. We already know. You might not be people's greatest players of all time. You might not be people's favorite player all the time. But I tell you this. As in small forward, the greatest small forward to ever do it. Wilt Chamberlain said that, so hey. I agree. I agree. I'm talking about playing real position. We ain't talking about coming up the court, dribbling the ball like a point guard. No, I'm talking about actually playing your position. The one know how to play his position for real. Real small forward. Real small forward. Can't be passed. It's just how it is. It's legendary. It's legendary. It is what it is. It is what it is. The first to do it. One of the first to do it. Salute to all them first ones to do it. I'm talking about guys started a 50, 40, 90 club. How the hell you starting clubs and shit out here, man? Let's stop it. Dude out here, club founder. Let's stop. Real legend. That's when you know you're a real legend. I promise you. Real legend. I'm like, we thank you though. Isaiah Thomas, Dennis Rodman. Hey man, y'all career could have been over that day. Could have been over, man. Shout out to Big Bird. He kept it 100. Big Bird for real. Bird said, I don't really care. He damn sure didn't care. He went out there and left it on the court. Y'all heard what he said. Y'all heard what the guy that was telling the story. That guy was torching shit out there for what he was saying. He was doing the Detroit Pistons when they played and they met up. He was torching them at 87. Promise you. That's how you take it. That's how you do it, Big Bird. We take it out on the court. The media, y'all know Big Bird don't like the damn media. They do too much anyway. We want to be, let's chill. That's all Big Bird want to do is chill. That was just Rodman and them. Isaiah Thomas, open your mouth get you now. You gotta know when to be quiet and know when to talk. And that was a time that you need to shut the hell up. That was one of them times right there, I promise you. Salute the Big Bird for being legendary, man. You were raised in the right. You was raised in the right household. You were doing what you were supposed to do. Like, it could have went bad, Dennis Rodman, Isaiah Thomas. Could have went left now. We thank the Lord for you, Big Bird. That was big time right there now. That was big time. I'm talking about these guys Hall of Famers now. That one incident right there could have fucked it all up for him. Salute Big Bird. Salute Isaiah Thomas. Salute to Dennis Rodman. It's legendary. We salute y'all, Bird family. Y'all already know we thank the Lord for another. I promise you. It's legendary. Thank y'all, Stat family. Thank y'all, Bird family, for watching the full video. We're going to be back with another video after this video. Make sure y'all stay prayed up. Y'all be safe. And y'all be good. You know?